Hey guys, back with another vlog. So lately I've been making this blackberry juice, which is really delicious. I get a tall plastic thin narrow glass like this. Then I get the blackberry syrup by Marco Polo. Then I get some club soda. You can get any you want. I like this one, it's okay. And I like to freeze it for 5 minutes until it gets cold. So I'm gonna go do that now. And then I fill this with ice. The more ice, the better. You can fill it about halfway to the top because the syrup is pretty strong. And I like it to be nice and refreshing. And sometimes the ice is not enough to make the beverage cold as I like it, so I'm gonna put the seltzer water in the freezer for 5 minutes so it can get colder faster. And there you go. And now we wait. So while I'm waiting, let's pour this. And it's very potent, so you want to be careful. And not put too much. You want to put about 1/10 the glass, 2/10 at most. And make sure you wash your hands after because this gets really sticky, the bottle gets really sticky. So now I'm going to pick up a straw to drink from, and I like this straw. Make sure it's clean inside. Okay, that's actually hilarious. It doesn't look clean on camera. What the heck? That's really weird. Ew, why does it look like... What? No, wait, maybe... Okay, there's a test you can do. You shine it at the light. So let me see. No, I'm even flipping it over. It's clean. But you make sure it's clean, okay? So you get one of these straws that are, you know, thin, plasticky. Okay, and super long. And we're gonna put it in the drink. And you don't stir yet because there's nothing really to stir. I guess if you want the syrup to get trapped in the ice, you can stir. And then slowly let it sink in and dissolve. But I'm gonna wait on my seltzer water and then pour it in. Okay, so now that it's got cold from the freezer, we're gonna pour it in all the way near the very top. Now you wanna go in this order because so you know exactly where the top is, because if you do the syrup and then the ice or the water first and then the ice and then the syrup, I don't know, you won't really know exactly the measurement. So it's gonna get really fizzy because the seltzer's interacting with the syrup, and then you mix it. And you have to mix it a lot because the ice will float up. And you want to make sure you get enough foam going. And the more you mix, the faster you mix, even more foam you'll get. So it's kind of like foamy milky. And you'll notice, you'll check, when it's about uniform even, the bottom will always look a little darker than the top because the ice. But when it's about the same color, you'll know. And if you want to pour a little more at the very top, you can. Or if you want to mix maybe half seltzer, half water, you can. But I like full seltzer because it kind of diffuses the strength of the syrup and gets a nice bubbly carbonated blackberry beverage to it. So there it is. You're done. And let's try it out. That hit the spot. So I'm gonna enjoy this. On a very hot day. I'm sure you can find that syrup online. It's Marco Polo. And I believe they come in other flavors as well. It's just really refreshing and nice for summer. So happy June. This drink kind of saves you some money as well, because one bottle is pretty much as if you bought a carton of blackberry juice, which runs out. And this syrup, you can make maybe 10 cartons worth of blackberry juice. So you don't even need the seltzer. All you need is plain tap water. I'm going to close the blinds a bit because I feel like the lighting is overpowering me and you can't see me very well. It's too dark. Maybe it's darker now, but I feel like that's better. Ooh, you know what? Let me plug in my strip lights, my LED strip lights. Which honestly, I was watching Hermie ASMR, the guy I collabed with a few months ago, weeks ago. How long has it been? And he inspired me to get these. Oh my god. He has these and they're so cool. Yellow, blue. I feel like yellow is the best. Anyway, so I still look dark. Bubble wrap. Ooh, bubble wrap ASMR. I just want to make this a quick video to talk about a subject that someone recently discussed that I don't know if I even mentioned it in the last vlog, but I wanted to continue off that subject, which is why I'm titling this video that it's okay to live with your parents, with your family. You know, I still live with family. Personally, I can't say it saved me more money because now my cost of living went up living here versus in a small apartment for 1 bedroom. But certainly it saves me more than if I lived alone here or just with one other person, you know. So it doesn't matter what age you are. Living with your family, there's nothing wrong with that. Many people do. It's honestly, in my opinion, I know you if you would like your freedom, that's fine. You know, I lived alone for, no roommate, nothing, just completely alone for 2 years. And it was just, I would notice I would splurge more because especially when you get bored and you buy things because you're bored, you go shopping or, you always find a reason to spend money and there's no one there to tell you no. Like, sit down, let's do something else, let's focus on something else. You know, and a lot of times you don't want to cook, you eat out, order in, take out, whatever. So that gets very costly. So it's better to split the bill and kind of share it with someone. So I don't know. And family, especially now of all times, it's very important during a pandemic to be with people. Like, it's a very scary time to be alone. So like now more than ever, it's okay to live with your parents, with your family, and have that kind of system of support, you know. And it gets very lonely when you're listening about all that's going on, and it just frightening, you know, especially if you have no friends. So, so like I was saying, someone was like, it's okay if you, sorry, this is so good. If you live with your parents when you're in your 20s, but in your 30s, it's not okay. What? What kind of nonsense is that? Well, I'm still in my mid-20s, but if it happens that my family is still around here in my 30s, I'll be okay with that, you know? I don't see anything wrong with that personally. At least in our culture, in Macedonian culture, most generations of families have been living with their parents even after they're married. Like, they'll be 30 or 40. Heck, they'll be in their 50s, get married, and they'll still live with their parents in one house, you know? It's just kind of how it is. And like a lot of houses there have like different levels in their own sections. Like, one section of the house is for this family, one section for this family. Family meaning, like, let's say the daughter or the son got married and now they have kids, and so they, with the married couple with their kids, live in one part of the house with their own kitchen, with their own bathrooms, and the other, you know. So a lot of houses are built there like that, and they're enormous. People think like Macedonia, like oh my God, it's like this third world country, they're so poor. No, actually they have nice things. They have nice homes, big homes, spacious homes, cars, you know, the usual stuff. A lot of them are built kind of like an older model or version, but you should see them now. I mean, they have improved and upgraded. Like, they have the newest phones, the newest technology, everything. Like, you know, times have changed, and even from just 10 years ago. So anyway, I personally took it as an insult. It wasn't directed or aimed toward me, but I just heard someone, a YouTuber, say that while I was watching them, and I almost was like, oh, I have to click away and stop listening to this nonsense, because they kept going on and on and on about, well, for the most part, their own personal insecurities, because, you know, there's nothing wrong in telling your audience that it's not okay to live with your parents at 30s plus. Is just nonsense. Like, I bet I have a lot of my poopsies, my universe darlings watching me who live with their parents, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. It's an Americanized system where people have this impression of, oh, you should live on your own. Okay, yes, I agree. You don't have to, but you should for a year, maybe, you know. I wanted to for so long, and I just went nuts. Like, I went off the rails. I didn't like it. You know, I didn't like being, living with no one for that long, and with limited social, because I'm pretty antisocial. Like, I just don't socialize in general that much. So it was just, it was a very dark place for me. So I don't want to personally do that again. If I ever have to do that again, will I seek for a roommate? Yes, because, I just can't do it. It's human nature to be around others, no matter how antisocial you are. So, yeah, I don't want to go down that again. So, there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Like, you know, I guess in the instance, this YouTuber was lucky enough to have found someone in college many years ago. And, you know, not everyone, including myself, is that lucky to have their life partner right away, you know? And I'm not saying right away, because they got to know each other over 10 years and then they got married and committed, you know, like, they were talking about how you have to take time to get to know someone. And that is very true. Like, you do need at least 5 years to really know someone, to make up your mind on that. But, you know, not everyone has the fortune to have, I guess, luck in that part of life, or just happen chance or destiny, you know, because I believe everything is predetermined. So for some people, it's just meant not to do certain things, and that's okay, you know. So that's my stance on it. You save money, you maintain at least somewhat of a social life, because you have people around, a close, trusted circle, even better, family, which, I mean, some families are not getting along ever, you know, and that's the reason people move out. And some families just cannot even trust each other, unfortunately. But if that's not the case for you, then, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Especially now with this economy, like, even people in their 30s are going to be struggling. So, not everyone, but I'm just trying to say, you know, there's always a way out, but of your bad situation. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I'm a true believer of that. There's always hope, no matter what downturn there allegedly is. But in a sense, with resources, we have the most resources now available to us than ever before. So, you know, there must be a way we can figure something out as a unity. You know, and a lot of people ask me to comment about what's going on. I'm not going to do that, because it's YouTube. You know, I'm not going to talk about stuff like that. But, yeah, I am appalled. That's all I'm going to say. So, thank you for watching. I hope you understand my viewpoint on that. There's nothing wrong with living with your mom and dad, you know. Some people would wish they had a decent mom and dad to live with. Do you know what I mean? So you can still be independent and control your autonomy, in a sense, that in your maturity and your adult side, and have your own boundaries, you know, because life with your parents is not the same when you're 10 versus 30, do you know? So they'll understand that and kind of like let you have your private life and your own space and all of that, and make your own decisions. And of course, it's even better if you have like more space in your home, like your own section of the home. So anyway, thank you for watching. That's just my stance, my opinion on that random vlog. And try this out. It's amazing, okay? I guess in a sense, like some couples or partners may find it conflicting, or when you're dating and they're like, oh, you live with your parents, like that could be an issue for some people. I totally understand that and get it. But hey, you know, if they find that that bothers them, they don't like you to begin with, because why should that bother them? They should look at you as a person, not your living situation, whether you're rich or poor, or whether you choose to have inexpensive things just because you'd rather save money. Like, you know, that was one issue with me. Like, I didn't want to splurge and they did. And unfortunately, you know, financial issues are a big cause of breakups and stuff in relationships, divorces, because people don't agree monetarily, which is really sad because it has nothing to do with the person. I'm a saver. I choose to save my money rather than buying Gucci and Louis Vuitton. You know, it's an unnecessary expense. I choose to have savings rather than flashiness. And that's my life decision, you know, and some people can judge based off of that. And I went into that in the last vlog, so go check that out. But same with living with your parents. You know, it's a life decision, you know, and you have to kind of be open because, you know, like, knock on wood now, there can always be someone passing away, unfortunately, especially the older we get. So you have to always be prepared that you are able to live alone. You know, you can't just depend on your parents. I'm not saying that, but you should still have the sense of freedom as an adult and a sense of strict rules if you were to do that, you know? And I think now is a great time with this downturn of the economy to say, like, hey, give your parents a call. Like, I want to save some money for a year or two. Let's try this out. It's exciting. It's something new, you know? Like, if they agree with it, cool, you know? And people do that. I mean, I had this one person I knew that saved a ton of money just doing that, like, you know, paying minimal rent and just, you know, getting by that way. And they were like grown, so nothing wrong with that. So don't ever let someone's insecurity and self-consciousness project on you and say, ew, it's wrong, you should grow up or have your own life. Like I said, it wasn't projected to me, but it was some YouTube video I heard. It was just ignorance upon ignorance that I don't know why I find like the most, anyway, just weirdest stuff. When you scroll on YouTube, you just find anything nowadays. What's your thought? What's your opinion? Leave it in the comments below. Do you live with your parents? You know, what's your situation? Do you have friends who have? You know, what's their situation? How is it like? You guys have been following me since the days I lived alone. You know how my life was like. It was living hell when I did, so... it's just not for everyone, you know, and life changes. So, you know, even if it's uncomfortable, I'm not saying you should, but try something new, try different things for a while and see if you like it. And if not, then, you know, if you have the available support, you can have other options. So there's nothing wrong with that. You know, not everyone's meant to be in a relationship, get married and move out and have a white picket fence and kids and dogs running around. You know, that's just not realistic. And this generation is having less babies more than ever. So, yeah, most people just make a roommate and can afford to live with a roommate or two, you know. So, you know, that's fine. You rent a room, whatever. You do what you got to do nowadays. So, that's my stance on it. Don't let anyone make you feel guilt for your life decisions. Thank you very much for watching. Bye, guys.